Hey, Ando here from Happy Life Martial Arts. I recently sat down with Nick Drossos to do an interview on my podcast, Fight for a Happy Life. Now, you know Nick. Nick is one of the most popular self-defense instructors on YouTube, but you may not know his story. Nick has struggled with dyslexia, ADHD, getting kicked out of high school, bankruptcy, and divorce. So he's got some very powerful advice on failure, starting over, and fighting for a happy life. If you want to check out the full interview, I'm going to put the link to the podcast below. You're also going to find links down there to Nick's YouTube channels and his new online training program. But for now, here are a few clips I think you're going to love. Oh, and if you know Nick, you know he doesn't mind using some colorful language. So if you've got some little ones around, I recommend putting on your headphones. So I always like to start off by just asking you, what is a happy life to you?
Wow. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I go always back to my life where I wasn't happy and I was depressed and I was miserable. And what it is to be a happy life for me is creating a balanced life, which means I wake up every day and I'm grateful. I love what I do. I have great friends and family. I have my son. I'm surrounded by positive people. I've designed and created a life that revolves around just, being positive and helping others and giving back any way I could, and just, being grateful for everything that I have.
Yes, sir. That sounds excellent.
So it sounds a little bit like, very Zen stuff, but really that's what it is. And I always go back to, when I was working at the hospital, when I hated my job, when I hated my career, when I was married and I wasn't happy, when, my whole life was had broken down. And I decided one day to just, what I call, shake up the box and blow up the house and just change every area of my life and find some kind of balance and happiness, which is mind, body, and spirit, and, just all that together.
Yes, sir. And not to make light of all of the fights you've been through in your life. I mean, bankruptcy, divorce, abusive upbringing, kind of raising yourself, getting kicked out of high school, dyslexia, ADHD, flipping the burgers, this whole thing. You really seem to have fought your way up to this happy life. I mean, hearing you speak right now, you sound so happy and positive and maybe sickeningly so. But you've earned it.
People who know, I've earned it. And I tell people, it didn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, brick by brick, build the life that you want. And you have to first ask yourself, I tell people, what do you really want from your life? That's the number one thing. And forget what your parents think, your friends think. What do you want to create a happy life, fulfillment, being content? That's the number one thing that you need to ask yourself. Then you need to design, write down a plan, have a vision. It's all of that together that creates it. I was very negative. I grew up most of my life as a kid being pissed off, angry at the world, blaming everybody. And until I assumed responsibility and accountability for my life and said, it's all my fault, I'm to blame for everything that's happened to me. And only then, I was able to change, piece by piece what I wanted, so I can be here where I am today and wake up every day and be like, I can't wait to start my day, whether it's Friday or Monday, I'm just as happy,
That's a great test. Are you as happy on Friday as you are on Monday? That's a wonderful evaluation test. I like that.
I always tell people, you need the whole combination. You need more or less a certain balance. If your health is good, but you're in a toxic relationship, guess what? It's going to affect you. If your health is good, but you hate your job, as much as possible, you want to create a certain balance in your life so you're happy. Or as happy as you can be, right? It's never perfect. You don't seek perfection. I tell people, seek 80%. 80% of the time, eat well. 80% of the time, be in a good mood. 80% of the time, because it's impossible for you to be, 100% at anything at any time. We all have our ups and downs. it's part of the game. It's part of life. And it's, you know, it means we're alive. We're not like flatlining. So it's that balance.
Seeking 80%. That is like my favorite new bumper sticker idea. That's realism with motivation together. I like that a lot.
That's why I tell people it's never too late for you to create your dream life. It's never too late for you to pursue your dreams. Like, don't give up on yourself. Don't, no matter how old you are. If you're 15, your dream is to be a photographer, painter, whatever, a singer, go and fucking do it. Do it, because time is going to go by fast. And before you know it, time will go by. And if you haven't done it, you'll be at the same place.
Right. So you're just doing what you hate longer. So what do you have to lose?
Exactly. You're just, you know, so that's my motto in life. And people who know me know, like, fuck, man, you don't let go. I go, no, I don't. Like, before I die and I'm buried in my coffin, I'm gonna realize every single one of my dreams. Every single one's gonna be done. I'm gonna be bruised, beaten. I'll be like, you know what? It's a fucking ride and a half, and you know, I want to look down and be like, holy shit, Nick, good job. You know,
nice. One of the quotes that I picked up from one of your videos, which I thought was really cool, you said that it took being many other people to figure out who you really wanted to be. Can you speak to that for a second? I mean, all the different roles that you've played in life and different characters that you've played to figure out who Nick Drossos really is?
Because I was the kid who was picked on and bullied. Then I was the kid who did, you know, got big and strong. Then I was the bouncer, you know, badass. I became one person. Then I, you know, became that family man who got married and did the whole shebang. Then I got divorced. And then I was like, I've been through so many different Nicks for me to get to where I am. And it's been a roller coaster ride for me to figure out who am I and who do I want to be. And only now I figured out who I am in the direction that I'm going, and I'm happy.
And I know that you are a massive planner, and you've got like a game plan mapped out all the way up to like age 50 or beyond. How far do your future plans go?
For right now, they go till 50.
50. So really, there's like a deadline there from 40 to 50. You've got a decade.
Because I normally do my plans, like I have a 3-year, 7-year, and 10-year.
Okay.
I kind of know at 50 where I want to be. So I'm always working towards a goal. And then never blindly. I'm not just walking around trying to figure out shit.
What age did you start finding how powerful it was to start making plans instead of kind of drifting around? When did that hit you that you should be writing things down?
32, 33.
32, 33.
Yeah. You know, when I decided to leave the hospital and quit my job, well, it was a couple of years transition and say, you know what, I'm going to open my own business. You know, I wasn't happy in my relationship. I'm going to end that. You know, I'm going to like, you know, get rid of and cut out friends out of my life who are toxic. You know, I'm going to surround myself with positive people. I'm just going to start cleaning house. So after that, I realized, holy shit, this works. I tell people, it's like, if I throw you in the forest and I'm like trying to find you, you're going to spin, you're going to do this.
Right.
You have a map and you know where you're going, even though sometimes you're going to lose yourself. You're always, you know, finding your way to the point, to the direction you want to go.
Right. And you were literally, you were a janitor in a hospital for several years, right? Cleaning toilets, literally. That's the life you say you hated. Is that right?
Yeah. I remember when I was like washing toilets, and I was like, holy shit, if this is as good as it's going to get, holy shit, I'm fucked. It's going to be a long life, you know? that was hard.
Yeah. And
but I learned a valuable lesson was also when I was there, I was resisting what was. And I learned that it's like trying to push through something. Like, and I learned that lesson, and it was actually a Greek woman I was working with. I would walk into work pissed off and bitching every day. And she tells me, she goes, you're driving me crazy. You're annoying me. You're here right now. This is what you're doing. You're not going to do it maybe forever, but right now you're here. Make the best of it and plan something. But right now, stop bitching and complaining. And I've learned now that wherever I'm in my life is to be grateful where I am in the moment, right?
Right.
But have a plan. You know, have a plan. So don't like, it's like kind of cutting yourself or, you know, trying to like force something that's not going to happen at this very moment. So I was beating myself, and it was making it hard for me to think clear and make good decisions.
Mm-hmm. And what gave you the discipline to keep going? I know you've spoken before in your videos about how you meet a lot of people who do set goals, maybe similar to yourself, and they don't follow through. They don't show up. Can you speak to that? I mean, why are so many people unable to do what you've done and keep going?
I had a breaking point. It's a story I can't share.
Oh my.
Yeah,
please share it. That's the story I want to hear right there. Hold it.
Story with my ex-father-in-law. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Who basically, one day had promised me, or had told me he would give a company to me and my ex-wife at the time, and basically at the meeting gave me the biggest humiliation speech. Pretty much how, I was kind of like a loser, and I would never have what it takes to work and run his company.
Wow. And
it took that breaking moment where I went OCD, ADHD, OCD like crazy, and said, you know what? Fuck, is this how people see me? It was that breaking moment point. And I remember I got home that night, and I didn't sleep, and I took a book and I filled it up with stuff I wrote of who I want to be, who do I want to become, where do I want to go, how do I want to get there, what's holding me back, what are my fears? I mean, I went crazy writing all this shit down. And I said to myself, you know what, Nick? No more fucking bullshit excuses. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to allow you to fucking make any excuses. You're going to find a fucking way to make this happen. I don't give a shit. And every time I would lose motivation, I would go back and think of that speech and say, you know what? No fucking way. I remember 2 years later pulling up in my brand new truck, Subaru Forester, and the new, like at his house, and getting out, having my own business and looking at him and thinking, I fucking made it. And a couple of months after that, got divorced. Never saw him again, but sometimes
you made your point. You made your point there.
Sometimes I'll say, you know what? Thank you. It's because of you. And you did it without a good will. You did it with bad intention.
Right.
But if that never happened, I wouldn't, that was that breaking point, that moment where you're like, you can't go any lower. And I tell people, sometimes breaking down, hitting your breaking point, your lowest, is a gift, because when you can't hit any lower, then there's only a way up. That's it. Yeah, I can't go lower than this. All right, I've hit rock bottom.
Right.
And you're like, okay, you're looking up. You're like, okay, how do I want to rebuild this now?
Mm-hmm. So don't fear the rock bottom. If you're going to fail all the way.
If you're going to fail, go all the fucking way.
Burn down the house.
Burn down the house. But as long as you learn through it, and I don't mean don't intentionally do it, but don't go in with the fear that, oh shit, I might fail. I might lose everything. You know what? Yeah, you might. It's part of the game. Trust me. I've been up and I've been down. And today I'm in a good place, but tomorrow I might not be. Well, I'm like, fuck it. I've learned to roll with the punches. That's what life is. It's a game. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
I tell people, you got to put yourself out there. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Like, fuck. Nobody's going to knock on your door and give you opportunity.
Right.
Go out there and be like, fuck it. I'm going to rumble up shit, and I'm going to create some noise, and I'm going to make, I'm going to create all my dreams, and I'm going to make them happen. That's it.
You just reminded me of a couple of different things I was going to talk to you about. One of them, you said that you would always think back to that original treatise that you wrote for yourself. Like, that's it. I'm going to change my life. And you kept your word to yourself. I know that your word means a lot to you. Can you speak to that as a way to motivate yourself about keeping your word?
So your word to yourself and to others, and the others to you, is your foundation of how people will see you. This to me is fundamental. So I tell people, sorry, I'm talking a lot. This is very important. I tell people, what you say, does it match what you do? So write down what you say, and next to it, make a line and say, is there evidence? Oh, my health is important. Do you train 4 times a week? No, I train once a week. You know, so your health is not important. You say it, but it's not. Is your relationship important? It's the most important thing. You work 12 hours a day. You never see your wife. You make no, it's not. Mm. So I tell people that. So you got to be true to yourself as well when you give your word or you keep your word.
You also make a distinction, if I recall correctly, between the words trying and doing. I think I heard you say that when you hear somebody say that they're going to try, yeah, I'll try, that you right off the bat say, no.
Because I always say trying leads to failure. Because when people try, and they say, I'm going to try, trying is a way for you to give yourself a window and permission to fail. Because you can be like, hey, I tried. I really tried. I did my best. You know what I say? Try until you fail, then you've done your best. So when I train clients, I tell them, you're not trying it. I don't care if you have to crawl there, you're going to finish it, but you're going to do it. And I tell people, if you're going to go in with the mindset of you're going to try, well, you're also going in the mindset of 50%. 50% you're ready to fail. So don't just try. Do it. Do it as best as you can.
Before I cut you loose, I've been very grateful for all this time. I'm getting all pumped up here. My heart's going. I'm thinking of all these things I need to be doing. I'm falling behind here. Do you have any deathbed advice? You walk outside right now, you get hit by a car, you're bubbling up blood in the street, and a crowd gathers around you, and they say, oh, speak to us, oh wise man. What do you have? What do we need to know? What do you look up and tell people on your deathbed?
I tell people, don't take life so serious. Simple as that. Don't beat yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't take everything you're going to be here for such a small period of time, and you're going to be dead forever after that. Make the best of it. Enjoy life, but plan it. Be kind, but be firm. You know, be good to others. It's not about how much you're going to get and how much you're going to attain. It's about how much you're going to give. What are you going to leave behind? I always say, when I'm dead and somebody meets my son, if they can say, you know what, I knew your dad. Fuck, he was a good guy. And I've done my calling.
Right.
And I say, when I'm not here, people are going to be like, fuck, I learned self-defense. I gave back my gift as best as I could to the world. And we all have a gift. When I meet people who are like, I don't have a gift. You have it. Either you haven't found it, you haven't developed it, you're afraid to let it out, but you have it. We all have. Think about it. There's only one of us every lifetime. It's pretty fucking cool. So you gotta take that moment and you gotta make something great out of it.
Like I said, some powerful advice. To listen to the full interview, check out the podcast, Fight for a Happy Life. To follow Nick's channels and to keep up with his online training program, I'll put those links below. Until next time, make your plan and keep fighting for a happy life.